Hey mech warriors, welcome to Bad Ben's Battle Mechs. I'm Bad Ben, and today I have a battle report for you. It's going to be Clan Hell's Horses versus my mercenary company, the Black Rats. And it's just going to be a stand-up battle to the death. They've got to take out the garrison force defending the spaceport, which you can see right here. And this brings me to the next point. I want to explain a little bit about what's going on screen because I got a little bit of stuff going on. So yeah, that is the playing area as seen from above. Then we have our little action cam here where you can see an Alpha Strike card and mech. And then we have a dice cam to see the rolling. And underneath there is really nothing that's not part of the playing field. So you're not missing out on any action. And also, I want to address the Federated Suns logo here. This is simply because I needed a box that would contain my dice so they wouldn't roll off camera. And the House Davion, the Federated Suns Force Pack box, was just the right size. And so that's why I use that. That's why there is a Federated Suns logo right there. But first of all, let's meet the teams. All right. So first off, we have Clan Hell's Horses with the 11th Rangers from Theta Galaxy, sporting their forest camo that I did really quickly. First off, we have a Gargoyle A, movement 10, 443, overheat 3, and armor of 7, and structure of 4. Then we got the Hellbringer Prime, movement 10, 442, overheat 3, armor 4, structure 4. Then we got the Mongrel Prime. It has a movement of 14, jump 441, overheat of 1, armor 5, and structure 2. Then we've got a Nova A, 10 jump, 333, overheat 1, 5 armor, and 3 structure. And the Summoner Prime. 10 jump, 444, overheat 0, armor 6, and structure 4. Then, in the other corner, we have the Black Rats. And first off, we have the Bane, 3, Beast of a Mech. Movement 6, 888, overheat 0, armor 10, and structure 4. Then we have a Phoenix Hawk 2C. Movement 10 jump, 544, overheat 0, armor 7, and structure 4. We have a Grizzly. Movement 8 jump, 554, overheat 0, armor 7, and structure 6. Then we have the Shadowhawk 2C. Then 12 jump, 440, overheat 1, armor 5, structure 4. Then I've got 2 whoopsies. Heavy hover APCs. These are actually oh, you can't see those, sorry. These are actually Maxim hover vehicles. Those are the minis, but this is just kind of a generic heavy hover APC. Movement 16, 100, armor 2, and structure 1. Then, so I have 2 of those. Then riding in those are going to be my 2 clan foot points. These have a movement of 2, 110, armor 3, structure 1. So they'll be riding in the hovercraft, maybe trying to flank enemy, and yeah, got 2 of those. Oh, and forgot this one. Last but not least, I have the warrior attack helicopter, which was a movement of 20, 000, but it has a chance to do 1 damage. It needs to roll a 4 or better on a 1d6. And if it does, then it can do 1 damage at any of those ranges. It has 1 armor and 2 structure. So that is my team. Now I'm just going to go set up the board. Oh, no. The skills. Gotta explain. The skills, the entire Clan Hell's Horses team, so the enemy team, has skill 2. All of my mechs, so that's the Bane, the Phoenix Hawk 2C, the Shadowhawk 2C, and the Grizzly, all have skill 3, whereas everybody else, so the 2 hovercraft, the 2 foot points, and the helicopter, all have a skill of 4. So that's the skills. Now I'm going to go set up. I'll show you how I set up, and then we'll get to the game. So first of all, I thought I should give a proper look at the setup. Here is the runway. The enemy managed to trick us by using civilian transports, or under the guise of civilian transports, to land on the runway and drop off their invading force here in the corner. And we'll have a look at the whole map here. So we have a little radar station, air traffic control tower, an enormous landing pad that, believe it or not, would actually only be able to fit like a small dropship. A really big crane here that is for unloading the dropships and so on. They can even do that. This can come out. Anyways, sorry, I'm playing with my toys. Na, 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 na. Then we have a warehouse over here where the 2 Maxims loaded with the foot points are emerging from. We have a couple of airplane hangars over here, a small dropship pad. We have the helipad where my helicopter is taking off from. Big missile system that won't be used in this game. And my force is coming in from this way. So that is the setup of the map. Take a big look at it. From all sides. All right. Then we'll get to initiative and getting this game on the go. All right, to show it on the big map, the attacking force is over here on the end of the runway. This is my force over here. The two Maxims, they're not Maxims, heavy hover APCs are coming out of the warehouse right there, and this is my warrior helicopter. So, initiative. I'm going to be the green dice. They'll be the white. What did I get? Oh, I got an 11. They got a 6. So I won initiative. Oh, I screwed up the board. No worries. Gotta not bang that. Okay, so I'm going to get to the movement. I'll show you where they move, and then we'll get to the shooting. All right. So first off, for the enemy team, we have, you can see on the action cam, the Nova and the Summoner. They just kind of charged forth up this street because there was nobody in view. And then the Phoenix Hawk kind of jumped into view, and the Gargoyle, which is standing here, took up a position behind a kind of a pillar underneath this drop pad here. So the Gargoyle is standing like right there. Then who's that? The Mongrel. This is the Mongrel here. Kind of wanted to take up a position of cover behind this building, but actually doesn't really have a line of sight to anyone. And then my helicopter came swinging around behind this building, and the Summoner, which is right here, decided to go more in this direction to try to cut off the helicopter and the Shadowhawk that sprinted down this way. All right, so that's the enemy team. Okay, so here you can see most of my forces. Back here, kind of by the warehouse, here on the big map, the Bane and the Phoenix Hawk and the Grizzly kind of move forward. The Phoenix Hawk and the Grizzly have a line of sight kind of through there. The Bane does not have a line of sight. My Phoenix Hawk sprinted all the way down here, keeping this building in between him and the enemy. The helicopter as well moved this way, keeping out of line of sight of anybody flying, hovering low. You can see them on the action cam right here. And up over here are my two hover APCs that kind of took a roundabout way and are kind of hiding behind this ramp here and have no line of sight to anybody here. No line of sight. They're going to try to flank. So that's the movement. That's where everybody went. Enemies mostly over here. I'm mostly over here and here and here. All right. And I should mention that the Phoenix Hawk and the Grizzly, which are over here, both jumped. All right, so everyone's moved, and I thought I'd go over line of sight and who can shoot here. So standing right here is the Gargoyle, and it actually can see my Phoenix Hawk, which is right there, and the Grizzly that's behind it, and is choosing to shoot at the Phoenix Hawk. The Summoner, which is right here, you can see him, really can't see anybody behind this pillar, so has no line of sight, but has indirect fire 1 and will be using that. Next to the Summoner, I'm not going to go move the camera, is the Nova, which actually can kind of see the Phoenix, which can see the Phoenix Hawk through this gap, believe it or not. So there's not going to be a whole ton of shooting, and the target numbers are pretty high. But I have all the target numbers here, and we can just go through it one after the other. So shooting first is going to be the 11th. What are they called? The 11th Rangers, Clans, Hells, Horses, the enemy. The Nova is going to shoot first. It is going to be shooting at the Phoenix Hawk, and it can do 3 damage and needs 8s. All right, so I'm using pilot dice here. If you don't know what pilot dice are, go look it up. 3 damage and needs 8s. And it does get 1 damage. 1 damage on the Phoenix Hawk. Next up is going to be the Summoner, who can do 1 damage and needs 10s. Summoner needs 10s and can only do 1 damage. Will it get a 10? Oh, so close, a 9. Just missed. So, no luck. And the Gargoyle will also be shooting at the Phoenix Hawk. It can do 4 damage and also needs 8s. It needs 8s. Oh, good lord. It got... Oh, no. It got 4 damage and a crit because of the natural 12 there on the Phoenix Hawk. So 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. The Phoenix Hawk is down to 2 armor and 4 structure left. Now we'll roll for critical and that can't be. That can't be. The first they can't. No. That's a unit destroyed. My Phoenix Hawk is completely destroyed. They got a 12 on the crit. And my Phoenix Hawk is gone. Oh, good lord. Well, this isn't starting off well for me. And my target numbers are really bad. But I will get to shoot back, and the Phoenix Hawk will get to shoot at least once before it is destroyed. So, first off, my Bane, who can't see anybody, will be using indirect fire, but needs an 11 to hit anything. But it can do 7 damage, so I got 7 dice. And I need 11s. And I hit with nothing. 0 damage on the Nova. The Bane was shooting at the Nova, by the way. Phoenix Hawk. The Phoenix Hawk can do 4 damage and needs 10s. Actually, can the Phoenix Hawk overheat at all? Overheat 0, so the Phoenix Hawk isn't going to overheat. It needs 10s. Can the Phoenix Hawk hit something before it's destroyed? 10s. And we get 2 hits. 2 hits on the Nova. Unfortunately, no crits. 2 hits on the Nova. Bam, bam. And that's really everybody that can shoot. My Grizzly was spotting for the Bane. He didn't have a good target number either. I thought that maybe my Bane would get a few hits in. But it didn't. Shadowhawk and the helicopter, my warrior, are behind a building, can't see anything. The hovercraft are behind the ramp and can't see anything. And my foot points are inside the hovercraft, so they can't do anything either. And that means this round is over. And it was an incredibly bad round for me. I am way, way, way down. So let's see what the commander wants to do. If you lost less PV worth of units this turn, yep, they did. I lost more PV units. Then we go to B. Oh, they add 2 to their initiative roll and assign move first token to your unit with the most medium damage and most armor. The most medium damage and the most armor would be the Gargoyle. So that's going to be move first. and they get a +2 on their initiative. That seems unfair. This game's not going well. I'm getting pretty unlucky. So we'll just do initiative, and then I will get to moving everybody and shooting for the next round. Yeah, just a recap. I lost my Phoenix Hawk completely, and they took 2 damage on their Nova, who has 3 armor left and 3 structure. So here comes initiative. They get a +2. I have a 9. They have a 6. +2 is 8. I win initiative again. Well, that's one bit of good luck, but I would have rather lost initiative and kept my Phoenix Hawk. All right. So it's off to a bad start. Next turn. All right. So everyone has moved. Starting off, the gargoyle rushed forward. It was standing here and rushed behind a pillar. You can't really see it on the action cam. Just over to the side of the action cam over there. That direction. To get a shot at the grizzly that was standing here. Then the Bane decided to stand still behind this building, out of line of sight of anyone. At which point the summoner moved kind of from this building to a pillar here to also get a shot at the grizzly that was standing there. At which point the grizzly sprinted down here to get out of line of sight of anyone. But the Hellbringer kind of moved up this way and is standing behind this building here. Well, using this building as cover and has a shot at the grizzly. At which point my Shadowhawk moved over this direction, so the Shadowhawk is there to get a shot at these two. Then my hovers, which you can see actually on the action cam here, this hover here moved to get a look at the summoner that was standing behind there, and the infantry popped out. So there's a hovercraft and infantry, at which point the Nova came and took a position behind this pillar right here and has a shot at the hovercraft. Then my other craft came and popped out their infantry right in the rear of the summoner. So the summoner you can just see standing there. Here's the hovercraft and the infantry are right behind them. This is all taking place underneath. So the hovercraft and the infantry are standing right there, and the summoner is just about there and looking in that direction. But actually has a shot at nobody. Neither does the gargoyle, who's also came to shoot at the grizzly who ran behind that building. Then at which point my helicopter was able to come around the back and is looking at the Hellbringer right there. Oh, actually, before that happened, the mongrel came and joined the Hellbringer to get a shot at the grizzly. So the mongrel is standing right here as well. Just do a quick recap. My Bane, my Shadowhawk, my grizzly that sprinted, hovercraft back here, infantry back here, another hovercraft about there with infantry about here, helicopter. I think you can't really see it behind that crane, just about there, looking in this direction. So those are my forces. Summoner, looking in that direction. Gargoyle, also looking in that direction. Don't have a shot at anyone. Nova, standing here looking at the hovercraft. Mongrel and the Hellbringer standing at that corner right there. All right, and all of the shooting numbers are ready. Everybody knows who they're going to shoot at. The enemy gets to shoot first. They have some. I did manage to trick the gargoyle and the summoner, so they actually don't get a shot at anybody. They don't have line of sight to anyone, so that's really good for me. But the other ones who do have shots have really easy shots. For example, the first shot for the enemy is going to be the Hellbringer shooting at the Grizzly and can do 4 damage and only needs 4s. And hits with everything. So that's 4 damage on my Grizzly. 1, 2, 3, 4. The Grizzly has 3 armor left. Next is the Nova, who's going to be shooting at my heavy hovercraft that only has, I think, 2 armor and 1 structure. And it can do 3 damage and only needs 5s. So let's pray for the best here. Come on, don't get 5s. And it got, it got 2 5s, but it missed with 1. 1, 3. So 2 damage on my heavy hovercraft. That's the one with the red base, a little bit red. 2 damage. Okay, it has 1 structure left. That is all it's got. And last but not least, I say that too much, sorry. The Mongrel has a shot at the Grizzly. 3 damage, can do 3 damage, needs 4s. Yeah. Needs only 4s. And it hits with all. So my Grizzly has no armor left, but it didn't take any crits this turn. All right, let's hope I can hit something. My target numbers aren't nearly as good as theirs. First of all, the Bane is going to be shooting at the Hellbringer. And it's doing indirect fire. And stood still this turn. It's being spotted by the helicopter, by the warrior that is not going to shoot this turn, and therefore has a target number of 7. And can do 7 damage. How many do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7 and can do 7 damage and needs 7s. Come on. Oh, okay. Oh my god, I missed with... Oh, no. I rolled two pilot dice, but I definitely have to remove the higher of the 2. That's definitely how the rule is. I think I should be able to roll again, but I'm not going to do that. I did miss with... So what did I need? I need 7s. I missed with 4. I only did 3 damage on the Hellbringer. Oh, good lord. What a bad shot. Unlucky for me. Hellbringer, 3 damage. Okay, well, it's got 1 armor left. Next up for me, the Grizzly can't shoot because it's sprinted, but the Shadowhawk can shoot at the Hellbringer. Can do 4 damage and needs 7s. 4 damage and needs 7s. Let's go. 7s. Oh, hit with 3. So, Hellbringer. 1, 2, 3. It has 2 in the structure. 2 structure left. I get to roll for a crit. Crit on the Hellbringer. Give me something good. Give me a 12, a unit destroyed, just like you did to my Phoenix Hawk earlier. That was really unlucky. Okay. An 8. What's an 8? I always forget. Weapon hit. So weapon hit on the Hellbringer. It's down from 442 to 331. Shadowhawk. Okay, so not too bad. The warrior is spotting my heavy hovercraft APC. One of them is shooting at the Nova because it can't shoot the summoner in the back. It's at medium range and doesn't do any damage at medium range. So it's going to be shooting at the Nova, and it can do 1 damage. So I need a 7, and I can do 1 damage. Give me a 7. I do 0 damage. Next up, Heavy Hovercraft 2. It is in the summoner's back, and so it can do 2 damage at short range, and it needs 6. 6. Give me a 6. Oh. Give me a second. Sorry, I rolled my dice off the table. Give me a 6. 2 6s. Haha. 2 damage on the summoner. Where's the summoner? 1, 2. Next up, Clan Foot that's also in the summoner's back. It needs 6s and can do 2 damage as well. Come on, baby, give me 6s. 2 6s. 2 damage on the summoner. 1, 2. Then I have my last Clan Foot. Infantry, and they need 8s and can do 2 damage. They're in medium range. So give me 8s. 1 damage. Okay. 1 damage on the summoner, who has 1 armor left. Hoo boy. I was hoping to do more damage with that Bane, but I would say, well, my Grizzly took, all of my Grizzly's armor is gone, but it does have 6 structure left. Whereas their Hellbringer, all armor is gone, plus 2 structure, leaving it with 2 structure only, and their summoner is down to 1 armor and 4 structure. And that is the end of this round. Let's check the commander card. What does that say? No, if an enemy is within 24 of any of your units has TMM 3 or more. Yeah, that's true. D. Okay, D. They don't get a bonus on initiative or anything like that. I won initiative last time. In the campaign, you're supposed to give yourself a -2 if you lost initiative last time. But this isn't a campaign mission. I forgot to actually mention that whatsoever. But this has nothing to do with the campaign system in Aces. This is purely my own game. Just me against the Aces deck. Which means we roll for initiative again. I've been lucky with initiative so far. And they don't get anything. What do I got? A 10, and they get an 11. So I lose initiative. All right, so I'll do all of the moving and get back to you. Okay, so you might have noticed that the light has changed a little, and that's because several hours have passed since the last turn. I had quite a bit of things to do in the meantime. That's all right. Just put the game on pause. But now I am back. That building was a little out of position. So actually, there's a lot going on here, and in this turn, and I want to show you. So it did actually start underneath the landing pad right over here, there on the big map. I lost initiative, so my first turn, luckily I had more units, and you can kind of use that to your advantage. I'm not using the front-loaded unequal numbers rules. I'm using the regular unequal number rules. So if you have more units, it does still give you advantage. So for my first turn, all I had to do was load an infantry into one of my hover APCs, and so that happened under there. Then the gargoyle, where's the gargoyle? I'll show you. Moved up into that position there, looking at the Bane that was there. At that point, I loaded my other infantry underneath there, and their summoner that had been underneath the landing pad decided to jump to the highest elevation and is now up standing on the crane, but didn't really wanted a view to his allies, not to the enemy. And luckily for me, where he landed doesn't have any line of sight to anything. So at that point, I was able to run my two hover APCs back here, and the Hellbringer, who had taken quite a bit of damage, only has 2 structure left, who was kind of over there, moved behind this building now, trying to take cover. At which point my Bane actually moved back behind this warehouse here, so it doesn't have line of sight to the gargoyle who's standing there. Then what happened? The Nova. No, I had to move somebody else. I think the Grizzly jumped back here. The Grizzly took a lot of damage, and it was kind of standing by this building, and it jumped over there. And my helicopter wanted to get a line of sight on the gargoyle. So here's my helicopter, and it decided to go up on this building to get a line of sight on the gargoyle, which I thought was a great idea. Nothing in between, it doesn't have any cover, and then it can spot for my Bane, who can use indirect fire and shoot at it. And that's all good. The Nova was standing over by this pillar here, and then pulled over to kind of help his buddy, the Hellbringer, who was having trouble. And my Shadowhawk pulled over here next to the Grizzly, and they have a line of sight now, uninterrupted, to the gargoyle, which is great. So some things went in my favor. The Hellbringer and the Nova and the Summoner up here all have line of sight to nobody and can shoot nothing. But of course, they won initiative and got to move last. And it's and this is how Ace's decks can surprise you, because the thing that the Mongrel, who got to move last, wanted to do the absolute most was jump into the rear of the blue unit. The blue unit was the one with the most movement, and it was able to do that very easily. It was standing down here. I hadn't even thought about it when I moved my helicopter there. I thought it would probably be distracted with other things, but no, it wanted directly to jump in the rear of the helicopter at close range. Luckily, the helicopter has high TMM, and because he jumped, his target number will be higher, but it's a pretty dangerous position for my helicopter. Right. Where's the tripod? Just a second. Da-da-da. Set the tripod up there. Kind of an overview. Oop. Nope. No, I can't. Oh, it's not tight. There we go. So, everybody's ready to shoot. I got all the numbers, and I lost initiative, so I get to shoot first. And first of all, my Bane is going to shoot using indirect fire, and it's going to be shooting at the gargoyle. Wait. Actually, before we get to the shooting, just so that on the big map, because I didn't do anything here, the Bane, my Bane, standing right there, a gargoyle here, does not have line of sight through that building. My Shadowhawk ran here, and my Grizzly jumped here. They do have line of sight to the gargoyle. The helicopter is like right behind the gargoyle right here. My two hover APCs hiding. They sprinted. Right, I didn't even. They were underneath there, and they're really fast, so they were able to sprint all the way over behind that building, taking cover. The summoner is like up on the crane over here. The Nova over here and can't see anybody. There's this big building here. And the Hellbringer just standing at that corner and also can't see anybody. So these three, I actually was able to maneuver pretty well. These three can't see anyone. But I do have the mongrel in the back of the helicopter. So now we can get to shooting. First of all, the Bane. It needs 8s. And it can do 7 damage. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Come on. Give me 8s. Give me 8s. Oh! All misses. Oh, man, that is an unlucky roll. That is a really unlucky roll for me. Okay. Grizzly shooting at the gargoyle as well. Needs 9s and can do 5 damage. Come on, give me 9s. That's really no hits, none, 0 damage. Great. So my last shot is the Shadowhawk that can do 4 damage on the gargoyle and needs 7s. 7s, come on. 7s has got to be 1 7. Oh, they're all 7s. 4 hits. Do I get a crit? I got a crit. Oh, Shadowhawk. Okay, great. Gargoyle gets 4 hits and a crit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, if I could get a 12 here and destroy that gargoyle, that might make up for the Phoenix Hawk that they did the same thing to in the first round. Maybe. Okay. Blowing on the dice. Let's go. It's a 2. It's a 2. Ammo hit. Look at the gargoyle. Oh, good lord. The gargoyle has ENE. So it can ignore that crit altogether. Otherwise, it would have been destroyed outright. I think that's the rule. ENE. Son of a monkey. So I did 4 damage on the gargoyle. That was my shot. Oh my god. They don't have a lot of shots. And their shots aren't super easy. They only actually have 2 shots. First of all, the gargoyle is going to be shooting at the grizzly. Jumped. It can do 4 damage, and it needs can do 4 damage, and it needs 7s. It's going to get all of these, obviously. My grizzly's going down. It needs 7s. Oh, it only got 1. 1 damage on the grizzly, but I think that's a crit. Yep. Wait, is it? 4, 5. Yep, that's a crit. So, how much? 1, 7. Roll for their crit on my grizzly. And they get a 10. What is a 10? A 10 is a fire control hit. That's basically the worst, other than total destruction. Fire control hit on the grizzly. That's a +2 for every shot it wants to make after this. They are absolutely wiping me out. So that was the gargoyle shooting the grizzly. Then we have the mongrel shooting at my warrior. It actually needs 8s, and it can do 4 damage. Eights, and it can do 4. And it got 2 8s. 2 8s on the warrior, who has 1 armor and 2 structure, so it also gets a crit on my warrior. It's gonna be a unit destruction. No, it's a 5. 5 for vehicles is... Oh, that's actually no big deal. Fire control hit for the warrior. +2 if it wants to shoot anything, but so far it hasn't shot anybody. It's really just acting as a spotter. So that's all they got to do, and with their 2 shots, they got 2 shots and got 2 fire control hits with those 2 shots. Okay, so next turn, got to see what the commander wants. Oh, they didn't lose any PV. I didn't lose any PV. No, nothing here applies, so the card stays. They get no bonus to initiative or anything. So I will roll initiative. I'm green and they're white. What did I get? I got a 9 and they got an 8. Okay, so I did win initiative again. Luckily, but it hasn't helped me so far. They're doing really well. All right, I will be back once everybody has moved, and we will shoot, and so on and so forth. Movement is finished, and show you up on the action cam a little bit of what happened. So it started by the summoner up on this crane, deciding to move forward and get a shot at the Bane hiding behind the corner of that building. Good vantage point, actually, getting up high. The Bane actually decided just to stand still. At which point the Gargoyle kind of made a break for it. Really wanted to get in sight of the Bane. And you can see the Gargoyle right here. And it might not have been the best idea, but it really wanted to get a shot. Well, wanted to be able to see the Bane. And at the time, these guys were over here, but he rushed forward. And the Grizzly came down to flank the Gargoyle. It didn't have enough speed or jump movement to get behind, so it just kind of went to the side. The Mongrel up here also wanted a shot at the Bane, so he's standing behind this kind of thing, and he can see the Bane behind that building, all the way over there. The warrior moved down and went right into the rear of the gargoyle, as did my Shadowhawk. Then this Hellbringer over here really wanted to go shoot my warrior, and it can do so. The warrior's right here, and he's standing right here. What else? Yeah, so then I guess my Shadowhawk jumped into the back of the gargoyle as well. And my two hover APCs came around the side of the building. Now they're in the front of the building. They dropped their foot infantry so that they have a shot at the gargoyle as well, possible shot. The Nova came up and has a pretty good shot here, right at one of the hovercraft. That's going to be dangerous. Probably going to destroy that. So is that everything? I think so. Everybody that's moved. So we'll just show on the map. My Bane stood still here, and the summoner moved to the front of the crane on the highest level and has a line of sight to the Bane. The gargoyle came over here because it wanted a line of sight to the Bane as well and had cover. My grizzly came down this way, standing right here now. And my warrior came around the back, standing behind the gargoyle. The Hellbringer just kind of moved. Can't really see. I should take my stuff off the table. Hellbringer's there. Oh, and I destroyed the runway. Hellbringer's right there. Jeez, I really can't see him. He's right there. And he's got a shot at the warrior. That. My hover APCs came around the corner and dropped these infantry who have a line of sight on the gargoyle. The mongrel just kind of is standing on top of this building and has a line of sight to the Bane. So that's everything. I know it's all kind of a big jumble, but I hope you get the idea. Bane's over there, Gargoyle's over here, people in Gargoyle's back, Grizzly over here, Hellbringer, Nova, Hover APCs, Foot Soldiers. All right, so time to get to the shooting. And they lost initiative, so they get to shoot first. And shooting first for them is the Summoner. And the Summoner is a good shot on my Bane. It can do 4 damage and only needs 5s to hit. 1, 2, 3, 4. Needs 5s. What did I get? Oh, hey, only 2 damage. 2 damage on my Bane. That was a lucky shot for me. 1, 2. Next up for them is the Gargoyle, who actually wanted to look at the Bane really badly. And then when it came time to shooting, kind of switched its target to one of the hover APCs. And it's actually shooting at a hover APC. It needs 7s and it can do 4 damage. 7s and can do 4 damage. Sevens. All 7s on my hover APC. 4 damage is destruct. Bam, he already had 2 damage. 1 was all it needed. So the gargoyle has destroyed one of my hovercraft. Oh, man. Now the mongrel is shooting at the Bane. It needs 6s, and it can do 4 damage. So it needs 6s, can do 4 damage. 6s. It got 4 6s. And that's 4 damage on my Bane. Bane has quite a bit of armor. 2, 3, 4. It still has 4 armor left after taking 6 damage. Now the Hellbringer. The Hellbringer wants to take the warrior down. It can do 3 damage. Do 3 damage and needs 8s. Sorry, just need to gather my thoughts. 3 damage, needs 8s. Ah, it missed with everything. Haha. So the Hellbringer does not take my warrior down. Now the Nova is shooting at the other heavy hovercraft, APC. It needs 5s and can do 3 damage. Fives. Oh, well, it did 2 damage. 2 damage on my other heavy hovercraft. Okay, well, that's all the armor gone, but it isn't a crit. Other heavy hovercraft is still alive. Okay, and that's it for them. Now it's my turn to shoot. So, because my Bane stood still and it's got a pretty good clear shot at the summoner up on top of the crane, it can do 8 damage. Oh, where's my other dice? My other die. One fell behind here somewhere. Didn't it? Ah, there it is. Need to find all of them. So I have 8 damage, and I need 6s. Come on, 8 damage, and I need 6s. Yes! They all hit. What a lucky hit for me. All 6s. So that's 8 damage on the summoner. Oh, I think that's bad for the summoner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the summoner is down for the count. First of their mechs down. First time my Bane actually really did some serious damage. It's a good idea for it to stand still. Next up is the Grizzly, who's shooting at the Gargoyle, but unfortunately the Grizzly got a fire control hit. It's going to be a 9 for it to hit, and it can do 5 damage. It needs 5 damage. It needs 9s. What did I get? Oh, not bad at all. 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. 4 damage on the Gargoyle. Oh, that's into the structure. 1, 2, 3, 4. Into the structure. Get a crit on the Gargoyle. Come on, give me something good. What do I got? I got a 7. That's a movement. 7 is an MP hit. The Gargoyle is down to 5 movement. 5 movement. That's really good. Shadowhawk at the Gargoyle. The Shadowhawk jumped in its back. It can do 5 damage, therefore, and it only needs 7s, and I think this hopefully might be the end of the Gargoyle. 5 So Shadowhawk needs 7s, can do 5 damage. 7s, 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 damage on the gargoyle, and the gargoyle is down. 2 mechs in 1 round. Bam, bam, bam. Gargoyle down. Aha, luck is starting to change. Who else do I have? So one of my heavy hovers is able to shoot at the Nova. It can do 1 damage, and it needs 7s. 1 damage, and it can do 7. And it needs a 7. Is it a 7? It's a 7, and it hits the Nova. Nova takes 1 hit. That's 3 hits in total. 2 armor left on the Nova. The other hovercraft can't shoot this round. Foot infantry at the gargoyle. Gargoyle's already toast. Doesn't matter. Don't need to shoot. The other foot infantry was also going to shoot at the gargoyle and cannot do so. So that is the end of this round. Let's have a look at the commander deck. If you lost more PV worth of units this turn, they certainly did. So B. Initiative. Add 2 to your initiative roll and assign the move first token to your unit with the most medium damage. Move first. So Gargoyle's gone, Summoner's gone. They only got 3 left. Most medium damage is the Mongrel, actually. Now, initiative. They get a +2 on their initiative. I think I might pull this off in the end. I only lost 1 hovercraft that turn. I got lucky. I got some really lucky rolls. That Bane roll was that was game changing. That took that summoner right down. So, initiative. Next turn's initiative, they get a +2. What did I get? I got an 11. They got a 10, but they get a +2, so they got a 12, meaning I lost initiative. I have to move first. Let's see what they do. All right, so movement's done. I lost initiative, so it started with me loading up an infantry unit into its hovercraft, and then that hovercraft came around this way. At which point the Nova came down this way to try to get a look at my Grizzly and Shadowhawk that are standing here. Shadowhawk was about here, and it just pulled around here to get a look at the Nova, and the Grizzly as well just came down there. So they're there. The Hellbringer actually came here to get a look at this. There's some stranded infantry. One of my hovercraft was destroyed, so one of the infantry is just kind of stranded here, and the Hellbringer is looking at them. Hellbringer right here at the corner of kind of a pillar underneath this crane. And my helicopter, which was back here, made a big sweep around here to get a line of sight on the Hellbringer here, so it can spot for the Bane. And finally, the Mongrel, who I was really scared of because it has a jump of 14, so that's like a circle this size that it can get into my back, and it moved last. So that's kind of why I kept my guys out here. The Mongrel decided just not to stand still, to move kind of like an inch, because it really wants to shoot at the Bane, and it had a perfect line of sight. Nobody else is in its Nobody else can see it. It was kind of a perfect spot. But aces, the rules for aces is they don't stand still unless the card specifically says stand still. Okay. So Nova is there, and you can actually see on the action cam all of their mechs. Here's the Nova, standing behind this building, looking at the Shadow Cat over in that direction. Here's the Hellbringer, standing behind this kind of pillar, looking at the infantry, and up top on that building is the Mongrel. So there's the Nova, Hellbringer, and the Mongrel. So they're my Shadow Cat, Shadow Hawk, 2C, and the Grizzly lined up behind that building, looking at the Nova behind there. There's my Bane, kind of standing where it's been standing the whole time. The infantry. Yeah, that's the whole setup. So we can get to shooting. And I lost initiative, so I get to shoot first. And the Bane is actually going to start. And the Bane is going to be shooting at the Hellbringer over here using indirect fire. And the Bane needs 7s, and it can do 7 damage. Come on, give me 7s. Oh, so bad. So bad. I got 3. 3 7s on the Hellbringer. Oh! Ha! 3 damage. The Hellbringer only had 2 structure left. So actually the Bane destroyed the Hellbringer. Oh, that's actually really good. Okay, I only needed 2 to hit. Next up is going to be the Grizzly. Standing over here. Oh, shooting at the Nova. No, the Nova's not there. Nova's here. But you get the idea. Grizzly shooting at the Nova. It needs 10s. It got a fire control hit, if you remember. And it can do 5 damage. So these 2 can go. I need 10s. Come on, 10s. Did I get anything? 0. Not a single hit. So that's the Grizzly. Shadowhawk, who's standing right there with the Grizzly, is also going to shoot at the Nova. It has a little better shot. It needs 8s and does 4 damage. Shadowhawk, come on. 8s and does 4 damage. Oh, 3, 4. Come on, give me 8s. Oh, goodness. 2 hits on the Nova. Oh, well, all of the Nova's armor is gone, but no critical. Foot infantry actually gets to shoot at the Hellbringer, but the foot infantry doesn't need to because the Hellbringer is gone. Oh. Oh, yeah, okay. So it's time for them to shoot. I realize I haven't always actually been thinking about overheating. It's hard to remember all the time. I've made mistakes. I'm sure I've made other mistakes too. You're gonna have to forgive me. So I'm actually going to look at the overheat now. And starting off is the Nova, who's shooting at the Shadowhawk. So Shadowhawk just shot at the Nova. It needs 7s, and it can do 3 damage, but will it overheat? Will it overheat? If this is 8 or less and might hit the unit's structure, Shadowhawk, no, that won't. Okay, so doesn't matter. The Nova would not overheat. It needs 7s and can do 3 damage. It gets 1. Yeah, that's a good roll for me. It gets 1/7, 1 damage on my Shadowhawk. Not bad. Okay. Next, we have the Hellbringer. No. Yes. The Hellbringer who's shooting at the foot infantry. So, Hellbringer there shooting at my foot infantry. Do. Wait a second. It needs 6s and can do 3 damage. Which, is that enough? No, that's not even enough to destroy it. 6s and can do 3 damage. It does all 3 damage. It gets all 3. On my clan foot point. 1, 2, 3. So the clan foot point has no armor left, but it has 1 structure. So it survived, actually. Now is going to be the mongrel at the bane. It only needs 5s and can do 4 damage. 5s. 4 damage. 3 hits. 3 hits on the Bane. Is the Bane still in the game? It is. The Bane still has 1 armor left after that. All right. That was actually a pretty good round for me. Things are actually turning in my favor. So let's see the strategy card for the commander. If this unit's automated force's objective is complete, no. If you lost more PV worth of units this turn, yes, they did. They lost the Hellbringer. I didn't lose anything. Then it is C. Assign move last token to your unit with the most short damage. So Hellbringer's gone. Who has the most short damage? 3 and 3. Okay, they both have the same. Or movement. 10 and 10. So they're both exactly the same. But the Nova can jump and the Hellbringer can't jump. So I'd say the movement for the Nova is therefore higher. So the move last token. So the Nova moves last next turn. They get no bonus on their initiative or anything. So we'll roll initiative. I'm green, they're white. Oh, they get an 11 and I got a 7. So they win initiative once again. All right, so we'll move and I'll be back in a moment. Oh, I just realized I forgot to draw the line from the mongrel over here to the Bane. I don't think that matters that much. That's who it was shooting at. And the Bane shot at the Hellion. All right. Okay, so everyone's moved. And I had to move first, and this infantry just kind of moved 2 inches because they only have 2-inch move, like in that direction, the stranded one. The hovercraft came back around, dropped its infantry here. The Nova, no, and my helicopter. I had to move. They only have 2 guys left, and I have a whole bunch, so I had to move a lot before they did. And my helicopter moved from here to here to look at the Nova. At which point the Nova scooted around this air traffic control building and is standing there now, looking at the warrior. The Yeah, the mongrel was the last one to move. My Bane, as it has done almost the entire game, stood here, stand still. I pulled my Shadowhawk. Doesn't do any damage at long range, and if it stayed back here, it wasn't going to be able to hit the Nova at all. But I knew if I ran there that the mongrel would have a chance to jump in my back. So I left my Grizzly. It's just standing still this turn right here. And my Shadowhawk moved this way, standing right here. On the action cam, you can see here the blurry gun of the Grizzly. There in the distance is the Shadowhawk, and in the very far distance is the Nova. So that's what's going on there. Then the mongrel actually didn't want to jump in the back of the Shadowhawk. Instead, it really wanted to take down the warrior. So it just kind of shifted a few inches and is standing right here and is trying to shoot at the warrior. The warrior is going to be spotting. It can actually see both the mongrel and the Nova. I think it's going to be shooting at the mongrel. Otherwise, it's going to be too difficult to shot. All the way across the board is going to be a long shot for the Bane. So, who's shooting first? My Bane is going to be shooting at the mongrel. That's right. The mongrel that's standing on here. It has no line of sight, but the helicopter will be spotting for it. And it's going to need 8s and can do 7 damage. Eights and can do 7. Okay, got it right here. What do I get? Oh, that's actually a really good shot. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 out of 7. Not terrible. And that is on the mongrel, who so far has taken no damage in this game whatsoever. It had 5 armor, now it has 1 armor. 4 armor gone. I think I made a mistake. I'm looking at the cards and I realized the Nova had the move last token on it, and I forgot. But the Nova only had the move last because it can jump and... Oh, wait. What am I talking about? No, I did this all right. It goes to the mongrel. The mongrel was supposed to move last. I did not do that wrong. I looked at the cards wrong the first time. I was looking at the Hellbringer card instead of the Nova. No. I needed to look at the mongrel. The mongrel was supposed to move last. It did. No mistakes. I hate that. Okay. Who's shooting next? So the Bane shot, it did 4 damage. The Grizzly. So this is going to be a long shot. The Grizzly stood still and has a long shot all the way to the Nova. It has that fire control hit still, obviously, and it's going to be 10s. It would have been 11s, but I stood still. So what is it? It needs 10s and can do 5 damage. Give me 10s. No 10s. Grizzly misses again. And then the Shadowhawk needs 7s and can do 4 damage on the Nova. Oopsies. So, once again, the Shadowhawk is standing right here. And the Nova's there. It's shooting at the Nova. And the Nova actually doesn't have any cover from the Shadowhawk. It's behind. It's behind the building, covering from the helicopter. So, what did I say? I'm all 7s, and it can do 4 damage. Give me 7s. 2 damage. 2 damage on the Nova. Oh, that is in the structure, and it had 3 structure. Now it has 1 structure left, and it gets a crit. And it gets an 8. What's an 8? Weapon hit. Nova gets a weapon hit. And so it goes from 3, 3, 3 to 2, 2, 2. Oh, I was hoping to destroy the Nova this turn. I guess I didn't. So it's their turn to shoot. And they're both shooting at the Warrior. And it's actually a difficult shot. The Warrior has a very high TMM. The Nova's shooting at the Warrior. So Nova was right there and is shooting at the Warrior. And this guy, the Mongrel, is shooting at the Warrior. So the Nova needs 8s and can do 3 damage. How do they get so lucky? Well, that's it for my Warrior. It only needed to do 1 damage. And the Mongrel doesn't need to shoot because it was going to shoot at the Warrior, and the Warrior's gone. Ba-boom! That's it for me. So that's actually the end of this round. These rounds are getting a lot shorter. Hopefully there's just one more round. I think I think the enemy is going to surrender once they only have 1 mech left. I don't want to necessarily, follow around a mech, especially the Mongrel who can jump 14 for several more turns. I don't know. So if the automated forces objective is complete, it is not. If there are no enemies, no. If you lost less PV, no. If you lost more PV, yes. They did lose more point value than me. So it is card D. No orders, no bonus to initiative. And we'll roll initiative. What do we got? I got a 10 and they got a 7, so I won initiative. All right, everybody's going to move. We'll be back in a second. All right, so they lost initiative, had to move first, and it started with the Mongrel jumping over here onto this landing pad. It can see the Bane clearly now. Then my foot infantry kind of just shifted 2 inches this way, and another one kind of shifted 2 inches this way. Nothing all that interesting. The Nova, who was standing behind here, came and is... Oh, my action cam doesn't show anything right now. Da-da-da. There's the Nova standing here. And my Shadowhawk advanced. It was just kind of here. It advanced, not far enough to get into the Nova's back, but it's in short range. My Bane just keeps standing still, right there at the corner, and the Grizzly moved out here and has a shot at the Nova. And my heavy hovercraft kind of shifted over here so that it has a shot at the mongrel right there. And this infantry has no shot at anything. Wait. So this infantry has no shot at anything. This infantry is going to shoot at the mongrel. The heavy hovercraft's going to shoot at the mongrel, which is actually right there. I can't draw straight lines. The Bane is going to be shooting at the mongrel. The Shadowhawk is going to be shooting at the Nova, and the Grizzly's going to be shooting at the Nova. The Nova and the Mongrel are both focusing their fire. They're doing a good job of focusing their fire on my weakest enemies, and that happens to be this heavy hovercraft right here. So they're looking to take that out this turn, which I bet they probably will. So they get to shoot first. Mongrel gets to shoot first. It can do 5 damage and it needs 4s. No. Yeah, that's right. Doesn't need 4s. Wait a second. I calculated something wrong. Give me a moment. It needs 5 and can do 4. I wrote that backwards. Da-da-da. It can do 4 damage, needs 5s. Did I say it wrong again? I can't keep track of what I said. 4 damage, needs 5s to hit. And it hits with everything. So that's my other heavy hover APC gone. And the Nova was going to shoot at it as well. But it's not going to anymore. Because it's dead. So that means it is my turn. Now the Bane. The Bane is going to shoot the mongrel. And it needs 8s and can do 7 damage. All right, come on. Let's end this thing. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Needs 8s. Come on. Come on. 8s. Oh, yes. Okay. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage on. Oh, fantastic. That is the end of the mongrel. The mongrel is now toast. Bang, bang, bang. And I finish them off this round. Who's next? The Grizzly. The Grizzly shooting at the Nova. It has the fire control hit. Its targeting reticle is all wonky, moving all over the place. It can hardly see anything. It does 5 damage and needs 10s. And it misses with everything, just like it does every time. That's okay. The Shadowhawk in for the rescue. The Shadowhawk can do 4 damage. Can the Shadowhawk actually overheat? I'll overheat the Shadowhawk if it can. The Shadowhawk can overheat by 1. It's going to do 5 damage. And it needs 5s. It only needs 5s. It's in short distance, and there's nothing in between it. It's got a great shot. 5 damage, only needs 5s. Let's go. It hits with everything! Shadowhawk to the rescue! Da-da-da! It only needed to hit 1, and the Nova is down. Boom, boom. That's it. I won the game, and it was all right. It was great. I'm really happy with it. I had a lot of fun. I kind of did wipe them out. I know. I knew that I was going to kind of wipe them out. It was an exactly 300-point match. Everybody had 300 points. Exactly. But their list spent too much on point value, as the clans tend to do. Not on point value, on skill. They spent too much point value on skill, is what I'm trying to say. Sorry. All of their mechs being skill 2, it's great. They're going to hit a lot, and they did. And they really damaged a lot of my mechs. But that extra skill doesn't buy you more weapons. It doesn't buy you more armor. And I kind of out-armored them, and I out-weaponed them. I could, the Bane was a little ridiculous. It can do 8 damage or 7 indirect fire. It did so much indirect fire damage this turn. But that's okay. I set it up that way because I'm the only one playing the game, and I want to see how well I can, beat the Aces deck. Just, in a fun little game. So yes, it was a little skewed in my favor because, I even lost the Phoenix Hawk early on. First round, my Phoenix Hawk was gone. They got such a lucky hit. But even then, I knew, okay, yeah, that's a bad hit, but I'm probably still going to take them out because they just didn't have nearly the weapons and the armor. They had the skill. And also, I would say I didn't play them the way a really good player would play them. I kind of played them a little bit exactly to the card, which is fun. Let them make mistakes. It feels really good to wipe them out. It was a good time. I wouldn't say that the Aces cards played badly. They played a good, fun game. Real people don't necessarily always play good, fun games. Real people would have, somebody who really knew what they were doing would have kept all of their units together in a big clump and focused their fire on my guys and tried to take them out one by one. But that's not really what happened. The Aces deck don't really do that. You could make the Aces deck do that if you wanted. Anyway, I don't want to make this any longer than it was. I hope you enjoyed it. A fun little skirmish between my mercenaries and the Hell's Horses, which I won handily. Oh, but this thing got knocked off its building. That's okay. All right, then I'm going to leave it here. And say, hope you enjoyed it. Hope to see you next time. Have a good one. Bye-bye.